Dr. Richie here. It's no secret that I am a huge Advance Wars fan. This whole channel began with an Advance Wars meme of all things. I even use Andy as an avatar in my videos. Needless to say, I was super excited when Nintendo announced remakes of both Advance Wars and Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising. To us fans of the series, it seemed like there was no way in hell we would ever get another Advance Wars game. Especially when one took into account the fact that another Nintendo series had recently exploded in popularity. Yes, I'm talking about Fire Emblem. Not to mention that Fire Emblem in a way also served as an alternative to Advance Wars. But even against all odds, the impossible happened and Advance Wars was given a second chance. And while as at the time of this video, the game has now been delayed twice, I would like to show those of you who might not know about Advance Wars or are probably interested in it, why this game matters a lot. While the reception for Reboot Camp has been mostly positive from fans, there are still people who dismiss the game as a cheap mobile game. There are even Nintendo fans who don't even know that Advance Wars is a Nintendo series. So, if you just felt identified with what I just said, then please allow me to take you through a short history lesson. Our journey begins in 1988, with the release of Famicom Wars for the Famicom. Fun fact, Famicom Wars inspired the creation of Fire Emblem. Famicom Wars set the groundwork for the Wars series. And since the game was a commercial success, many sequels came right after it. Said sequels also being exclusive to Japan. But thankfully, that would eventually change. On the 10th of September, 2001, the West would finally get to experience a Wars game in the form of Advance Wars. Well, the game was originally also going to be exclusive to Japan. But that changed when staff from Nintendo of America tried the game and convinced Nintendo to release the game internationally. Advance Wars sold 700,000 copies worldwide, which made Nintendo realize that turn-based tactical games had an audience in the West. The success of Advance Wars was also one of the main reasons why Fire Emblem finally also came to the West. Advance Wars eventually received multiple sequels years after its release. It even had some spin-offs in the form of Battalion Wars. So far, everything sounds so good for Advance Wars. Don't you think? Well, unfortunately, there was a big problem facing the series. So, it turns out that every new game in the series was declining in sales. This also happened to the spin-offs. And we all know that when sales are low, a series' future is suddenly put in danger. Let's take both Advance Wars Dual Strike and Battalion Wars 2 as an example. These two games were released on more successful consoles when compared to their predecessors. And yet, they flopped. Especially Dual Strike. As you can see, the Advance Wars series has a complicated history behind it. And it's sad that it never became more popular even though the games were amazing. Well, if you don't mind, dear viewer, allow me to show you why Advance Wars is beloved by many. Strategy games can be pretty overwhelming for new players, especially taking into account all of their complex mechanics. Advance Wars solves this by having an in-game tutorial, which in my opinion, is one of the best tutorials ever. In said tutorial, Nell will teach you basic mechanics. Things like fog of war, terrain advantages, repairs, weather, and much more. Once you complete this tutorial, you can move straight to the game's main campaign. There you will face various commanding officers, each one with a unique personality and special abilities. Let's take a look at a few of them. We have Drake, a naval combat specialist who can summon huge tsunamis and deal damage to all enemy units. There's Colin, a commanding officer who can produce units at a cheaper price. His 2 CO powers allow him to multiply his funds. Said funds can also be used to strengthen his troops. Andy is a basic commanding officer who can repair all his damaged units with the help of his CO powers. Olaf can make it snow and slow down the enemy from whatever it is they are planning to do. Sturm can summon meteors and heavily screw you over. And the best part is that you can use any commanding officer in local multiplayer battles. The game even allows you to create your own maps. All of these features give Advance Wars near infinite replay value. Especially now that the remakes will allow you to finally play Advance Wars online and also share your maps with others. This replay value is what has allowed fans to continue playing the original games up to this day. TLDR, Advance Wars is a criminally underrated series. And if you don't believe me, then just take a look at its review scores and what others have to say about it. If you made it this far, thank you. Thank you very much. I hope this video has at least made more people consider picking up Advance Wars Reboot Camp whenever it finally releases. And if you are interested in Advance Wars, please consider joining our Discord server. Link to it in the description. Take care and I'll see you next time.